Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in the name of the faculty and this, the 41st graduating class of York College, it is my pleasure to welcome you and to declare these exercises open.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is your day. We ask, though, that we can celebrate you if you could be as mindful of the need for quiet. We would so appreciate it. Please remain standing while Ms. Maya Bass from the class of 2009 leads us in the singing of the national anthem. The York College Sounds of Soul, conducted by Jonathan Quash, lecturer of music at York College, will accompany her.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed as the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, thank you, Ms. Bass. And we may also thank the color guards from the Queen's National Guard Armory. Thank you. Members of the graduating class of 2011, honorees, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce the president of York College, Dr. Marcia V. Keys.
Thank you, and you may be seated. I know that there is a lot of excitement under the tent this morning. And I'd just like us to wait until the color guard exits. Good morning, and what a glorious morning for the 2011 graduates of York College. Distinguished platform guests, returning alumni, our keynote speaker, Dr. Ericsson, our faculty in full display and array this morning, members of the university community, our honorable legislators who will join us later, parents, family, friends, but most of all, class of 2011, good morning and welcome. Graduates, we commend you for reaching this milestone. You made a commitment, you worked hard, and you sacrificed much to earn the degree that you will receive today. However, I am sure that it would have been a far more difficult journey without the strong and caring support of mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, companions, children, family members, friends. And so as we begin the proceedings, graduates, a round of applause for your family and friends. Of course, you will agree. May I ask the folks on the outer wings if you could find a seat and keep it? And then if you would please, the folks on the outer wings, in respect of our graduates, if you would stop talking, that would be a good thing. Thank you. So of course, graduates, you know that you have been challenged with some high intellectual hurdles here at York College. You have been challenged, you have been supported, you have been provided guidance by our world-class faculty and our counselors and our staff. And I'd like to ask all the faculty just to stand so we can applaud you. Faculty, staff, counselors. At this time, I really need just a moment of real quiet, because one of our members, our beloved Ken Adams, died in April while still serving here as a professor in the Performing Arts Department and as chair. And I thought it would be appropriate for our whole community to just have a moment of memory for Ken Adams, who was a superb musician and whose contribution to York was outstanding. So remember Ken Adams. Thank you. Will the alumni who are present please stand so we may acknowledge you with a round of applause? And we're honored today to have some alums in the back, some alums on the stage, and we are particularly delighted to have 3 members of the class, the very first graduating class of 1971, Francine Fraser, Joel Hornstein, and Jack Loopman. Thank you for joining us. We also have the reunion classes of 1976, 1981, 1986, and 1991. We thank you for remembering your alma mater. I'm happy, of course, to have members of the university community who are here, and they will address you later. But I just want to thank our trustee Shorter and our Vice Chancellor Sanchez, who are on the podium, for joining us with this celebration today. Graduates, this is your day. Bask in the light, yes, of this day. I want to invoke the sentiment of the Apostle Paul. You have fought the good fight. You have finished the race. All 901 of you. That's right. When I wrote my speech, it was $8.99, but our registrar affirms that 2 more people crossed the line and were able to join us today. So congratulations to that 901. You're a unique class. Unique because you came to us much better prepared academically to take, and you took full advantage of all we had here for you. We had a wonderful new cohort of new faculty, and we had veteran faculty who were renewed to teach you in the classrooms and in the labs. You took advantage of co-curricular activities, the Green Committee, the Cardinal Crew, the undergraduate research, merit scholarships, the FDA internships, the Thurgood Marshall scholarships, activities in the Men's Center, study abroad, and you included among you our largest cohort of veterans in recent times. Would our veterans please rise so we can thank you for your service and so that we can also applaud you. You're also unique, class of 2011, because you have among you a small and special cohort of aviation students, like Helen Yu, right? And Salvador Savaria. They are going to take advantage of thriving careers in the aviation industry. We also have among you students who took advantage of the intentional guidance of your faculty, and so many of you are going on to law school, to medical school, and on to PhDs. That's right. And I just want to name a few. One young man, Kirk Halterfterheide, is going to Brown University. He is going to join a cohort of 3 graduates of last year in a program sponsored by an earlier graduate of York, Dr. Andrew Campbell. We also have Nargiza Matiakuba, formerly a gymnast in her native Uzbekistan. She has excelled at York, and she graduates with honors in English. She will continue her studies at Columbia, and she's convincing her family members to come to York. Thanks for being a good recruit for York. And there is Dmitry Serjonov. Are you here, Dmitry? He is joining 30 other of our York students who are Salk scholars, and he's going on to a PhD at Downstate. I'm, of course, proud of our valedictorian, and you'll hear a lot about Trudy Rowe, but let me just mention her. Yes, Trudy, there you are. She symbolizes the hard work and the achievement that you, this class, have experienced. And some of you will go into the world of work because we have prepared you for that. I know, for instance, that my own mentee, Alvin Victor, who is a business major, was not able to join us this morning because he started his first job with Time Warner today. And I know that Jody Ann Mattis is in the house, even though she has already started her first job, and she's been mentored by fabulous faculty in the health and phys ed program. And so, graduates, wherever your plans take you, I applaud you for securing this degree. I applaud you for the work you've done. I applaud you for your tenacity. We wish you the very best as you go out into the world. In the meantime, I leave you with these words. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. So York class of 2011, let your light shine. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Keyes. Our commencement speaker, Dr. Aprille Ericsson, was born the oldest of 4 daughters in Brooklyn, New York. She first realized she had an aptitude for math and science during her attendance at Marine Park Junior High School, where she was the only Black student enrolled in the Special Progress Program. In her senior year of high school, she won 2nd place in the science fair and scored in the 90s on all her regent and citywide exams, and graduated with high honors. She entered college at Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where she received her Bachelor of Science in Aeronautical and Astronautical Engineering. During her undergraduate years, the Institute, she was involved with several projects that were geared toward manned space flight. These projects generated a strong desire to participate in manned space missions. She felt one way to do this would be to become an astronaut, and she applied for NASA's astronaut program. Upon completion of her education at Massachusetts, she attended Howard University in Washington, D.C., where she obtained a Master's of Engineering and PhD in Mechanical Engineering, Aerospace option. Currently, Dr. Ericsson is working full-time as an aerospace engineer at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center at Greenbelt, Maryland, in the Guidance, Navigation, and Control Design Analysis section. She has been acknowledged by the National Technical Association for being amongst the top 50 minority women in science and engineering. She also received the Women in Science and Engineering Award for Best Female in the Federal Government. Please welcome our 2011 commencement speaker, Dr. Aprille Ericsson.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. I really appreciate that great welcome, and thank you to the Mistress of Ceremonies, President Keyes. Thanks for having me. And a special thanks to Earl Simmons. He's probably out there somewhere. He made sure that all the logistics of getting me here were worked out. I want to also express my sincere gratitude to the Board of Trustees, our distinguished guests, faculty, parents, families, and friends for inviting me here today to participate in the 41st commencement exercises of York College. A particularly special good morning to our prospective graduates of York College, the class of 2011. Today is your day to celebrate. I'm honored that I've been chosen to speak and to recognize this graduating class's academic accomplishments. I realize there are only 86,400 seconds in a day, and I appreciate the fact that you would share those precious moments with me. As you consider your future, I would like to share with the graduates my thoughts on 3 topics: acknowledgement and appreciation, thriving in the employment market, and your civic duty. So let's start with the first one. Alex Haley once said, if you see a turtle sitting on top of a fence post, you know he had help getting there. As we participate in these commencement exercises, I would like you to remember to thank those who have helped you to achieve the successful completion of your degree. I consider myself extremely fortunate to have been able to acquire the various degrees, the accomplishments and awards in my life. Many times I've faltered, but I have been lucky to have a giving and an inspiring family, as well as mentors who are very encouraging to me. Let me take a few seconds to thank my mother. Mommy, where you're at, she's somewhere. Corinne Ericsson, she's an educator here in the New York public school system. She's been my inspiration. She continues to support me with her presence here today, and she's expressed how proud she is of me. I know there are probably some proud family members here today that can identify with that feeling. I've been called a giant in science. If that's the case, it's only because I stand on the shoulders of my forefathers. Many a late night, I can remember trying to study when I thought, I can't keep my eyes open a moment longer. Sound familiar? At that time, I would reflect on how others before me were able to achieve academic excellence from meager and humble beginnings. I would think, how could I not forge on and persist until I succeed? I'm especially thankful to my ancestors for all their help and inspiration in getting me here today. I hope you realize that you've been able to achieve your outstanding student careers because of your ancestors, family, community leaders, and teachers. Many continue to support you in this audience today. I commend all the faculty, the administration, the staff, the volunteers, the parents, the siblings, and extended family members. You've participated in equipping these graduates with the right tools, critical thinking skills, and finances to be successful in this challenging environment. You're the reason the graduates are here today. So graduates, let's stop here to applaud the village for doing an outstanding job. So moving on to the second topic, thriving in this employment market. That's a challenge. It's the same challenge I faced when I graduated with my undergraduate degree from MIT. I graduated only 4 months after the first space shuttle disaster. At that time, the U.S. aerospace industry was primarily hiring for missile defense, and I was not interested in being destructive. And unfortunately, hiring for NASA was frozen. As a young graduate in the aerospace field with a strong interest in human spaceflight, my future was fairly uncertain. Fast forward 25 years, yeah, I'm dating myself. But at this current time frame where similar employment is very uncertain, many of you are probably wondering, where will my future go and what does it hold for me? However, there is good news for the college graduates. Experts have quoted that getting a college degree matters. The 2009 Census Bureau survey has determined that there's many financial payoffs for college. A study found that the economic returns are greater for people with degrees, and anyone with a bachelor's is likely to make about $250,000 more than someone with a high school degree. That's minimal. So breathe that short sigh of relief that your investment in college will pay off. Okay, so now you're saying, tell me something I don't know. My experience has shown that employment cycles are cyclic. I struggled for my first 6 months out of college. I worked in jobs unrelated to my career path. As I reflect on my current job commitment of anywhere between 40 to 60 hours a week, I'm happy to say that I stayed true to my goals and desires to be successful in the aerospace arena. Make sure you are committed and love your profession. If you're unsuccessful at first, I suggest you don't sit around, waiting for opportunity to come knocking. Be flexible and morph your skills with a slight twist. Consider the world's need for sustainable options, or maybe become a storybook writer for electronic games. In my case, I went back to school to get a graduate degree with a slightly different but honed-in focus. That graduate degree allowed me to remodel and market myself and get my foot in the door of NASA as a graduate research student. For some, more school may not be a considered option, but here is another tidbit. The same study noted that degree recipients in liberal arts and humanities generally make about $47,000. But about 40% of you guys actually go back for graduate degrees, and it boosts your earnings about 50%. So you just secured this foundation for your success. And as you ponder the next steps, here are some morsels of wisdom. Remembering and developing your networks and partnerships to build long-term relationships on open and honest communication. Your communication should be positive, energetic, and enthusiastic. You'll be more successful when you can characterize as being pleasant, optimistic, and happy to be in your position. Now remember, that wasn't easy for me. I was the Brooklyn girl with a little chip on my shoulder. Yeah. Wow them, yet be humble. As an African American from Brooklyn, New York, working in aerospace engineering, I realized my New York roots had taught me to be confident, upfront, and competitive. I always strive to exceed expectations. Balancing those personalities can be conflicting and difficult. However, I work every day because I desire to be a successful leader. My career as a technical manager requires me to provide leaderships and make decisions efficiently. By the way, I'm currently running a $250 million project. I think that I've kind of been successful, but I still strive to continue to be great. First, take that into consideration and always work as if this is your last day. I just heard about the preacher that passed away. He loved his job, and he continued to do the things that he's loved. Balancing can be a difficult act, but when you consider things like you have to make great decisions and the support of your own team, when you make a faulty one, remember to take ownership. First of all, you can't sweep it under the rug. Second of all, I actually work at a place where most of the people are smarter than me. So it's not going to be that long before they've realized I made a mistake. And in taking ownership, you gain their respect. Next, be proactive and don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, if you're going to lead people, you have to realize when you've made a mistake. Also, people will think you're pretty smart to know when you need help. Next, find a mentor. Enough said with that, but there are mentors for all seasons of your life, so you can have many. Then take initiative to serve within the organization. In addition to do it to assign responsibilities, take on something easy, like bringing dessert to the family or a cookout at the job, or maybe taking on the task that nobody else wants. It's kind of in line with my last topic, which is your civic duty. As you reflect on your experiences and remember your path to, through, and from your college, please remember to reflect on your academic institution's mission to enrich lives and enable students to grow as passionate, engaged learners with the confidence to realize their intellectual and human potential as individuals and citizens. Yes, that's your college mission statement. Your college degree is a form of empowerment. With that said, consider, embrace, and drive change. You are the future of New York, the United States, and the world. Our communities and country is harnessed with many challenges. Continue the tradition so many of you have started here at York College and find a way to serve your community and your country. An act that will help you stay connected with your fellow citizens and improve the lives of those around you. Remember to give back to your community, for one person can make a difference. It was 50 years ago that John F. Kennedy delivered a speech that inspired one of the most successful service projects in American history, the Peace Corps. He instituted a challenge to students who were assembled on the students at 2 a.m. in the morning in Michigan one October night. He said, "On your willingness to contribute part of your life in this country, I think it will depend on the answer whether a free society can compete. I think it can, and I think Americans are willing to contribute, but the effort must be far greater than we've ever made in the past." End of quote. 2 years ago, President Obama eloquently echoed those sentiments to a crowd of college graduates. He said, "The men and the women who have sat in these chairs 10 years ago and 50 years ago, they made America possible. And there is no guarantee that the graduates who will sit here in 10 or 50 or 100 years from now will enjoy the same freedoms and opportunities like we do. America's success has never been a given. Our nation's destiny has never been certain. What is certain, and what always has been certain, is our ability to shape that destiny. That is what makes us different. That is what makes us America. Our ability at the end of the day to look past all of our differences and all of our disagreements and still forge a common future. That task is now in your hands, as is the answering question posed about whether a free society can compete." End of quote. I believe in you and your willingness to contribute to this country and succeed, as past generations have. I, like President Kennedy, President Obama, still believe we can compete and succeed. Are you guys with me? Consider this: even if you are 100 years old, your moment in history is brief, a minuscule period when comparing it to the age of the Earth or the total time of the evolution of the universe. Approximately 4.5 billion years for the Earth, 15 billion years for the universe, respectively. Please remember to live life to the fullest in a positive and respectful manner, because each moment is precious. Don't forget, you represent your family, your community, your college, the New York metropolitan area, the United States of America, and the world. Make us proud. The clock is ticking, and you have approximately 51,000 seconds left into today. Please be sure to make the most of today and every day. Shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll still be amongst the stars. I believe in peace and not war, but peace also means to me positive energy activates continuous elevation. Peace, congratulations on your graduation, and I wish you much success in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen, for Dr. Ericsson. Thank you so much for that inspirational speech and also a challenging speech. I hope you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear it for her. And in behalf of the graduates of 2011, it's my honor to present to you our Presidential Medal to thank you for spending time with us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ericsson. Thank you for helping our graduates remember that they can soar. And thanks to your wonderful mother for helping to support you. Could we applaud our fabulous keynote speaker? Thank you. Before we continue the program, I've been asked just to remind you, if you could remember that we need the respectful quiet from this wonderful audience. So I ask you to please be conscious of the need for some respectful quiet. With us this morning, to bring greetings on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York is Trustee Charles Shorter, who is a great friend of York. Mr. Shorter, a senior advisor at David Brody Bond Architects and Planners, is a graduate of Princeton University and holds a master's degree from Columbia University, where he also serves as an adjunct associate professor in the Master of Science in Real Estate Development program. Mr. Shorter holds membership on the University Board Committee on Academic Policy, Program and Research, and the Committee on Facilities, Planning and Management. Please welcome Trustee Charles A. Shorter.
Distinguished guests, keynote speaker Aprille Ericsson, CUNY Vice Chancellor Frank Sanchez, your great York College President Keys, class of 2011 valedictorian Trudy Rowe, Student Government Association President Anaf Alam, other honored guests, distinguished faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, you, the York graduating class of 2011. The only important thing in that wonderful long introduction of me that is significant is that I do teach at the college level, so I am keenly aware of how much longer you would like to listen to me. Nonetheless, I can't tell you how happy I am and what a pleasure it is to bring you greetings and congratulations from the trustees of the City University of New York. You are the pride of York College. You are the pride of Queens. You are the pride of New York City. And shortly, you're going to be the pride of the world. Although there are 900 of you graduating today, in the 45 years that this institution has been in existence, you have over 21,000 fellow alumni whom you will soon join. And what's most significant about that is that how many of them have gone on to dedicate their lives and their careers to the betterment of society. And I think that is common ground for all of you. This is a college where everyone here has earned their way into and has sacrificed earning your way out. And for that, we congratulate you. We also have to pause and congratulate the faculty, without whom many of you would have had insurmountable obstacles to overcome, but they helped you do that. And then finally, as I conclude, outside of this railing, and quite frankly, the unsung heroes of this graduating class are your families and friends and supporters, and we congratulate you as well. To end, I just want to say, on behalf of the trustees, celebrate yourselves. Go out into the world and take it over and give yourselves a hand.
Thank you, Trustee Shorter. Also with us this morning to bring greetings on behalf of Chancellor Matthew Goldstein is Dr. Frank Sanchez, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. working to advance campus student services, programs, and policies aimed at increasing student success and degree completion. Dr. Sanchez brings a wealth of experience in student affairs. Before coming to the City University, Dr. Sanchez was Vice President of Student Affairs at the University of Colorado, where he established several new student services, as well as provided the primary leadership in centralizing student services at their off-site campuses. He was also appointed to the Colorado Governor's P20 Education Council, where Dr. Sanchez assisted with legislation aimed at reducing high school dropout rates and increasing college attendance and graduation rates. Dr. Sanchez holds a BA Nebraska at Lincoln, a Master of Science degree from Colorado State University, and a PhD from Indiana University Bloomington. Please welcome Vice Chancellor Sanchez.
Well, good morning and congratulations to our 2011 graduates. All right. Well, before I offer some very brief remarks, there are a few very important folks we need to recognize this morning. First, I want to recognize President Marcia Keyes for her vision and her leadership and her deep support and dedication to our graduates, and also to Trustee Charles Shorter for showing his steadfast support for York College and the City University of New York. I also want to thank and recognize what are truly a superb and outstanding group of faculty and staff for providing unwavering guidance and creating what really is an unparalleled learning experience for our York students. I want to express greetings to our distinguished keynote speaker this morning, Dr. Aprille Ericsson. Thank you for your remarks. And also to Anaf Alam, President of the Student Government Association, as well as our Valedictorian, Trudy, Rowe, and to the Vice Presidents and Deans in attendance. To the family and friends who over the years have provided love and encouragement, on occasion a very swift kick in the pants, every one of you must be commended for bringing today's graduates to the beginning of another exciting new chapter in their lives. Congratulations and job well done. And finally, to the 2011 graduating class of York College, I bring you greetings on behalf of Dr. Matthew Goldstein, Chancellor of the City University of New York. You know, being the new Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs just for the last 5 months, I've learned quite a bit about CUNY, its institutions, and the real distinctive students that we have the privilege of serving. In addition to now being the largest urban public university in America, with students speaking over 130 languages and coming from 180 countries, the CUNY student and our York College students are distinctive in many, many ways from other graduates. Now, I've worked on many campuses all over the country and with many, many different kinds of students. But what I've come to learn about CUNY just over the last 5 months that I've been here is that our graduates possess a unique set of characteristics and a unique set of qualities that I'll just simply call this morning as the CUNY state of mind. And let me describe to you what the CUNY state of mind means to me when I see graduates out like I see this morning. The CUNY state of mind is a student that is self-disciplined, that has a deep inner strength and has a tenacious spirit towards obtaining any goal, no matter what the adversity and no matter what the challenge. York College graduates have this special trait where they have a voracious commitment to education. They are persistent, they are resilient, they're self-motivated, and you've come to learn to be independent thinkers and critical thinkers and problem solvers. Our CUNY and York College graduates are very, very tough, and they don't give up despite difficult adversity roadblocks, and setbacks. And I'll tell you this morning, there are numerous examples in this audience that truly exemplify this CUNY state of mind. I want to just share with you a couple of them. I want to recognize those students who are the first in their family to get a college degree. In so many ways, you are not just advancing yourselves, but you're strengthening your family, you're strengthening your community, and you're strengthening future generations. I want to recognize and salute our veteran graduates for serving our country in the armed forces. You will be serving our country and our community in the workforce. I want to recognize, and today we really need to applaud those students who I know you worked 1, 2, and some of you I know here this morning worked 3 jobs to make this happen today. I admire your deep desire for advancing your education. It is exemplary and will serve you well in your future aspirations. And finally, I want to recognize and thank those students who raised children while getting your degree this morning. You know, CUNY often boasts about developing our future leaders, but you students, you in fact are raising our future leaders, and I commend you. In closing, as a 2011 graduating class of York College at the City University of New York, go confidently in the direction of your dreams and continue forward with the CUNY state of mind. Congratulations again, and my heartfelt best wishes to you all on this very, very special occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vice Chancellor Sanchez. Every year, we are supported in such wonderful ways by our several of our elected officials who come to celebrate our festive occasion, and one of whom is here now to convey his greetings. Please welcome the U.S. Senator representing the state of New York, the Honorable Charles E. Schumer. How's this for perfect timing? Take your time, take your time. Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. This one or this one? Good morning. It is great to be here, and first I want to thank President Keyes for the great job she does here at York. Let's have a round of applause for her. It's my honor today to address the distinguished members of the platform, the friends and family of the graduates, but most of all, you, the class of 2011 York, congratulations. Now, first, I want to announce my class gift. Yeah. You know, it's hard to pay for college. You know that. If you're poor, the federal government helps you out, and we didn't let those bad guys cut the Pell Grants. They're staying intact. But we also got to help the middle class. So I passed a law 3 years ago, that said that you or your parents, whoever paid for college, can fully take off their federal taxes $2,500 a year to help defray the cost of tuition, provided your family income is below $200,000 a year. So if you make below $200,000, make sure mom or dad takes that deduction, or you, whoever paid. And if you come from a family that makes above $200,000, God bless you. Now, graduates, I want to say this. First, thank you. I want to just say something to the moms and dads here today. I know how you feel. Just a few short years ago, my wife Iris and I watched our daughter Jessica graduate. We watched her come up on the platform, take her diploma. We craned our neck to watch her move the tassel from one side to the other. It was one of the greatest days of our lives. And if you're like us parents, you probably think back to the difficult times. We remember when Jessica was less than 1. We had to rush her to the hospital. She had 106.5 fever. We didn't think she'd make it. Praise God, she did. We remembered when she was in kindergarten. We put her on the kindergarten bus. She ran to the back, tears streaming down her cheeks, and waved goodbye. And when Iris met her at the bus at 2 o'clock, she bounded off the bus, happy as could be. She said, "Mommy, I came back." She thought we had put her on the bus for good, and that was the end of BC and her family. Then we remembered her as a teenager, when she didn't say very much to us, and when she did, we didn't understand a single word she said. And then moms, dads, you see your daughters, your sons, come up on this platform and take that diploma and become an adult before your very eyes. Moms and dads, you helped make it happen. Congratulations. Now, to this great class of 2011, you know, you're graduating at an amazing time. It's a time when technology has taken over our world. In 1988, the year some of you may have been born, the word internet was first used in print. There was no cell phones, no text message, no Google, no any of these things, no LOL. And our generation, me, your teachers, your families, your parents, we try to get used to this technology, but it's hard for us. But for you, you've been born into it. Technology is to your generation like water is to a fish. You've been swimming in it your whole lives, and you're the first generation to do that. So that, plus the outstanding education you've gotten here at York, means you have a lot of choices. And my advice to the class of 2011 is very simple. Figure out what your dream is. Now is the time. Reach high for it. Then reach deep down inside yourself. See what you're made of. See if you can achieve that dream. My advice to the class of 2011 is simple. Go for it. Now, sometimes you'll make the wrong choice, but if my experience is any indication, you'll pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move forward. But if you make the right choice, with a lot of hard work, a little luck, and some prayer, your life will be enriched forever. Now, I learned these things myself. When I was seated at graduation from college a while back, like you are today, I learned that I had just won a scholarship to travel all around the world, all expenses paid for a whole year. Whoa. For me, it was the opportunity of a lifetime. I had never been out of the country before. But at the same time, I had met a girl, and I fell in love. I had to decide. Do I go around the world on the all-expense-paid scholarship? Or do I stay home with the girl? President Keyes, the class is divided. Well, I stayed home with the girl. Don't clap yet, ladies. Don't clap yet. The story continues. She went on a short vacation that summer, and I went to the airport to meet her on her return. As soon as she got off the plane, I saw by the look on her face something was wrong. She dumped me by Labor Day. There I was. No scholarship, no trip around the world, no girl. I should have listened to him. Anyway, I said to myself, what a loser you are. You'll never get anywhere. I stayed in my house for a few months and moped around. But I picked myself up, dusted myself off, and moved forward. And a few years later, I found myself at law school, graduating again. But on the way home from law school, I told Mom and Dad I was not going to join the fancy law firm like we had planned. I told them my dream was to run for office. I love politics. And I was going to take a long shot chance and run for the assembly. My parents were shocked. My mother was particularly disappointed. You see, they had struggled to send me to college and law school, and the law firm was paying $400 a week, more money than my family had ever seen in those days. But my heart wasn't in it. I dreamed of running for office, and so that fall, I ran for the New York State Assembly at age 23, and I had 3 opponents: the party machine candidate, a neighborhood activist, and then there was my mother, who was telling all her friends not to vote for me. So I get this dumb idea of being a politician out of my big, thick head. Well, graduates, a few years earlier, I didn't get that girl, but that November, I won the election. So, to this great class of 2011, go for it. And when you have doubts, and believe me, we all have doubts, that's the human condition that God gave us, happens at every level of life, maybe you'll remember a few words from this poem by Rudyard Kipling called If. He wrote it to his son 120 years ago, but it's relevant to every son and every daughter here today. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings but not lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all count with you but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. He wrote it to his son 120 years ago. It's relevant to every daughter and every son of this great class, York 2011. To the class of 2011, congratulations. Good luck. Godspeed, and go for it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Senator Schumer. And you know what, while we, right before we invite our next supporter, I'd like to, the president wants me to ask the President's Advisory Board to please stand so we can acknowledge you. The President's Advisory Board, could we thank the President's Advisory Board. Thank you so much for your support. I would really like at this time to ask to come to the podium and for you to welcome our special friend, in fact, our last year's keynote speaker. Please welcome Comptroller John Liu.
Good morning, York graduates. So good to be back again. This is what I call a true perk of office. A perk of office to be able to join Trustee Shorter and Chancellor Sanchez in coming together to congratulate Dr. Keyes and the faculty and staff here at York College for producing an incredible class of graduates this year. Here to congratulate all the family and friends who are here to see our graduates move on to the next stage of their lives and careers. and most of all, to congratulate the class of 2011 at York College. This is a day that you have worked long and hard for, and you surely deserve the celebrations that are taking place. And you know, you graduate at a time that still carries some uncertainty. We have been emerging from a recession that is probably the worst since the Great Depression. And yet, even as we emerge from this recession, there are opportunities that you have taken it upon yourselves to equip with better opportunities by having built your foundations even more solidly and honing your skills in your years of study here at York College. You're graduating from one of the finest institutions in the greatest city in the world. New York City, a place where people from all over the world come to, a place where my own family immigrated to when I was 5 years old. I had a chance to come to school here and to get a career and actually run for office, even get elected to the city council, and now I have the privilege to serve as Comptroller, the Chief Financial Officer. I sign all the checks, $68 billion worth of checks every year. Our job, working with our elected colleagues, including Senator Schumer, my political mentor, Assemblymember Vivian Cook, who is here with us also, our job is to do what we can to provide you with the opportunities. But I am heartened that you have worked so hard to get to this point. And now, in the next few months and years, there will be undoubtedly opportunities that come your way. Some of them will be difficult and challenging, no question about it. But embrace every opportunity, never as obstacles or as difficulties, but as another challenge to further develop your own foundation, your skills, and your character. That is what your college has set you off with in the first place. So I look forward to seeing the continuing success of our graduates. And once again, let me thank the faculty and staff and President Keyes for their incredible job for the graduates today and the students at York College, but also for our entire city of New York, because when the graduates here succeed, our great city succeeds. Congratulations and thank you to the family members and friends. It is your support that has led to this day of success for our graduates. And most of all, I want to thank in advance, as well as congratulate our graduates here today who have worked so hard and will continue to work hard to succeed for yourselves, your families, and our great city of New York. Congratulations to the class of 2011 at York College of CUNY. Congratulations, you have earned it.
Thank you so much, Comptroller John Liu. You know, we have just a really, really special friend in the audience who doesn't choose to be up front, but she's up front with us in every way possible. Our Assemblywoman, Vivian Cook, financially, spiritually supports us, and we really would love to give her our support, applause, thanks, sincere thanks. Thank you so much, Assemblywoman Vivian Cook, for your help in our facilities in every other way. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Aprille Lloyd Griffith, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. Provost Griffith.
I want to do a periodic check to see who is actually in the house. Is there anyone from chemistry or biology or geology among you in the house? Let's see if there's anyone from business or accounting in the house. I am told that there may be some teacher education students in the house. I have to do one final check for now. Is there anyone from the performing arts in the house? Thank you for being in the house. I'll do further checks over time. Just want to be sure that you stay. If you leave, I'm not going to call your major, so you got to stay there. Madam President, collectively our students devote themselves to their education. Somebody with a vuvuzela over there, apparently. Our students have devoted themselves to their education and they have excelled. Each of our students deserves special recognition. However, only one of our students is recognized to speak for the entire class, and that person has earned the distinction of being the class valedictorian. As you know, the valedictorian this year is Miss Trudy Rowe. Let me spend half a minute telling you about Trudy Rowe, things that you may or may not know. Trudy's journey began in the small island of Barbados. Apparently, there are Bajans in the house. A small island of Barbados where skyscrapers and subways were a figment of Judy's imagination. Raised and supported by two extraordinary parents, Don and Bonetta Rowe, who are here, and I'd like them to stand if they're here. Trudy's parents, please stand and be recognized. Thank you very much. She progressed from primary school upward, moved to New York City, and enrolled at York College to do gerontology. Trudy feels very fortunate in completing her degree at York 1 year earlier than expected, not only is a tribute to herself, but is a tribute to what the faculty and the staff and all the people in the library and other places have helped her to do. Like many of our students, like many of her classmates, Trudy extended the perimeters of her learning beyond the classroom. And so she presented at the Naval Academy Foreign Affairs Conference in Maryland while she was here. She made presentation at the National Association for Foreign Student Advisors Conference in Missouri while she was here. She also made a presentation of her research at the Society for Cross-Cultural Research, their 40th annual meeting in South Carolina. Trudy describes her time at York as one of importance, of discovery, of growth, of one of knowing a lot, but also recognizing how little she still knows. Madam President, class of 2011, I'm delighted to introduce Trudy Rowe.
Thank you, Provost Griffith, for your very kind remarks. Good morning. President Keyes, Provost Griffith, honored keynote speaker Dr. Aprille Ericsson, distinguished elected officials, Trustee Shorter, Vice Chancellor Sanchez, deans, faculty, alumni, family, friends, fellow graduates. Many who took Introduction to Gerontology were introduced to the concept life in retrospect. It refers to that place in life where we stop and reflect on our ups and downs, our triumphs and our defeats, and on what we might have done differently. We are proud of our accomplishments, that is, retrospectively. But for a very little while, I invite you to think with me prospectively, not merely to dream, but I dare you to dream a risky dream. You know, one outside your personal comfort zone. 3 years ago, my journey began in Barbados, where the letters E and J were just letters of the alphabet and not the name of a train. My understanding of the world revolved around crystal clear beaches, white sand, and a population of 275,000 people. York, though, helped me to realize that the world is much larger than 166 square miles. I know that many of my fellow international students can identify with this reality. Then came the brutal winters, and I knew for sure that I had left my comfort zone, that place where warmth is perpetual. But dreaming out of your comfort zone means more than physicality. It means pursuing that which seems beyond your reach, that which removes you from your safety net, that which forces you to absorb what once seemed foreign. We were all forced out of our comfort zones at York College, whether it was taking Speech 101 and dreading the time to deliver the speech, or the social thinker having to calculate the standard deviation in Math 111, Introduction to Statistics. Let us be honest with ourselves. At times we said to ourselves or to others, what is the purpose of this course? How does it relate to my major? These courses forced us out of our comfort zones, that place where we came to accept the familiar. So we must dare to dream those dreams that present a challenge. Upon entering college, I am sure that we all realized that to earn an A was a very daunting task. It required dedication and diligence. Every semester, we faced the ritual of exams, papers, and presentations, praying that professors would see the effort we placed into our work, and frankly, in some instances, praying that they would ignore the effort that was lacking in our work. Today, we are a living testimony to the surviving rituals. I believe the true heroic story of facing challenges lies in the single mother and the single father who endured to the end, juggling taking care of the children and working. The true heroic story lies in the seniors who returned to college after sending their children through college years ago. The students who are caregivers of loved ones. The students who experienced significant loss along their journey and yet were still resilient. The students who left their families and friends in another country and who had to adapt a new culture. We all face different challenges. They came with the dream. And yet here we are, not only still standing, but successful. Is it dreaming safely? Or is dreaming dreams that come with risk the most satisfying of dreams? Never be afraid to step outside of the box, as they say. Never be afraid to launch out into the unknown. Seek to be originators, to start new trends. Sometimes There are dreams we don't know yet to dream, but as we grow, these dreams as yet unborn in our minds will take us much farther than we can even imagine. Our experience at York is just the beginning of our challenging and risky dreams. As I conclude, I quote by Sir Isaac Newton, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." In my life, these giants are my parents, Don and Benita Rowe, who supported me even when my dream did not make any sense. To my Aunt Marcia Callender, who provided me with a safe haven over the past 3 years, and my loving grandmother, the late Una Eiffel. These giants refer to the department chair, Dr. David Ajaluchukwu, and all the faculty and staff members of the Department of Health, Physical Education, and Gerontology. These giants refer to my adopted Department of Social Sciences and the amazing professors there, to the International Students Office in the Registrar's Office, and all the members of staff who assisted all the international students over the past years. To my sister Carrie, thank you for your companionship. And to my niece Winter, someday this will be you. If I have forgotten to mention anyone, please charge it to my head and not my heart. Foremost, to God be the glory for great things he has done. Now, let each of us be proud and keep that inside. And let each of us be grateful and say that out loud. So, York, faculty, friends, family, classmates, I dare you. Dream. We did it! Yay!
So I'd like your classmates to know
President
what
Key.
the plaque says.
Marcy, use this one.
Okay. So the plaque says, presented to Trudy K. Rowe, Valedictorian, Class of 2011, in recognition of your outstanding scholarship and academic achievements. York College, the City University of New York, 41st Commencement, from Dr. Marcia V. Keyes, President, on this day, June 3rd, 2011. Congratulations. And we also have a little gift for you, Trudy. Does she represent you well?
Ms. Rowe, when I grow up, I want to be like you. I would like to ask the president of the Student Government Association, Anaf Alam, to come forward to bring greetings to your fellow graduates.
Good morning.
On behalf of the student body, it gives me great pleasure to offer congratulations to the York College graduating class of 2011. At first, I would like to thank President Keys and all the guests and all the graduates here today and the York community to give me opportunity to speak today. I am here today not to lecture you, but rather to speak as one of you and to congratulate you on your remarkable achievement. We believe that the knowledge you earn from this college is going to help you for your future career and life. Some of us will produce new business plan and become a doctor and other professions. But do not forget that York was one of the dynamic institute that guided you. And it's my advice to all of you, do not hesitate to step into bed and paid out of fear of humiliation or failure. Just move forward what you have planned and don't be disappointed yourself. I'm sure that you will achieve your goals. You have been very blessed that you have a wonderful life and the opportunity to graduating from such an extreme institute, which is York College. In parting again, once again, congratulate all of those gathered here today for your great success. Thank you all for spending 4 years life in this college. Thank you.
Thank you. It is now my pleasure to again ask Dr. Ivor Griffith, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, to come to the podium.
Second check. Is there anyone from nursing in the house? Is there anyone from English in the house? I think we may have some journalism majors as well in the house. What about foreign languages? Spanish, French, Creole? They're clapping in Spanish, they're clapping in French, so we really can't interpret them. This past Wednesday, June 1st, the college community celebrated the academic and service achievements of many of our hard-working students at the honors recognition ceremony. That evening, awards were distributed to a number of our most outstanding and deserving students, many of whom are in this graduating class. I'd like to invite all those who received awards on Wednesday just to stand and be recognized. All who received awards on Wednesday, give them all a round of applause, please. Thank you. But among those who received recognition and awards on Wednesday are some who will be graduating with cumulative GPA of 3.25 or better. Those students, 3.25 to 3.49, graduating as cum laude. Would you please stand and be recognized? Our cum laude. But we know that in the world of college, where there is cum laude, there is magna cum laude. Will our magna cum laude graduates please stand and be recognized? Magna cum laude. And the registrar whispered to me that where there is magna cum laude, there is what? Summa cum laude. Let the summas rise. Round of applause for our summa cum laude graduates. Madam President, we now come to the recognition of our 2011 candidates for graduation.
The candidates will be called by their respective deans according to their schools. The candidates' names will be read by 3 members of the York College faculty. Professor Robert Clovey from the School of Business and Information Systems, Professor Susie Letney from the School of Health and Behavioral Sciences, and Professor Samuel Gurley from the School of Arts and Sciences. When your school is announced, please rise and remain standing until all graduates have returned to their seats. When your name is called, please proceed across the stage to greet the president and accept your degree. After all the schools have been presented, President Keyes will then confer their degree. Will Dean Melites, no?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Yes, for this part of the ritual? Yes? Okay. Very good.
Will the undergraduate candidates from the School of Arts and Sciences please rise? The majors in the school include biology, biotechnology, chemistry, pharmaceutical science, geology, health and environmental sciences, physics, English, journalism, French, Spanish, history, philosophy, interdisciplinary studies, mathematics, computer science, theater arts and fine arts, art history, music and communications technology. Provost Griffith, these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for the awarding of the bachelor degree and have been recommended for graduation by the faculty of the School of Arts and Sciences. I request that President Keyes confer upon these candidates their respective degrees.
Hi there, graduates. We're very, very proud of you today, and I know you're proud of yourselves. It's a pleasure to look out and see so many people graduating and getting prepared for the life that they're going to live. And believe me, your college education will make your life a lot sweeter than you would be without it. Dr. Keyes, I want to thank you for this honor and privilege to address the graduating class of 2011. On behalf of the County of Queens, since becoming Borough President 9.5 years ago, I have not missed one York College graduation. Speakers are often asked a few things by the event sponsors. Make your point and make it brief. Not necessarily in that order. However, as a fellow CUNY alum, and so are both of my children, I know your elation, the joy of your family who have supported you, and the professors who have watched you and helped to develop your intellectual capacity to greater, higher levels. You may ask, how, in this time of high unemployment, this is reality now, economic downturn, and multiple wars around the world, how can I be optimistic? We must live with ambivalence. We have to get used to that. The hope is that you will be able to change what you see needs fixing. Not necessarily in big steps, but many small steps lead to big steps. Remember the bus ride? Remember the lady who got on the bus and said she was not going to go to the bus? Woo! What's her name? Thank you, very good. As Abraham Lincoln said, the struggle of today is not altogether to today. It is the vast future also. You will never know where your life will lead you. I think of myself as a young mother with my 2 children, taking them in their annual visit to a new library when we moved to Queens. It was a little tiny storefront. Well, you know where I am today? I actually build the libraries. I build the libraries. We use your tax money. That's what's entrusted here for the borough president. Schools, museums, all public institutions. And pretty soon, right here in Jamaica, next to the main library, there's going to be a library there that is going to teach children a lot about science and also wonderful reading. The ribbon will be cut soon. And now, as borough president, more than 50 years later, I've been able to allocate millions of dollars to all the Queens residents' new and modern library facilities. It's truly an honor to be in public service, and as I look out, I know that each of you will take on challenges and make them your own. I know you will succeed in whatever field you choose and make a difference, not all together for today, but we're trusting our future to you. Our future is in good hands, your hands. Thank you so much, and congratulations to the class of 2011. We're proud of you. We love you. Okay.
Thank you so much, our own Helen Marshall. The president and provost have asked me to please acknowledge our foundation board members. Those of you in the audience, would you please stand? Our foundation board members. Please give a hand for our foundation board members. Thank you so much. I would like to ask Ms. Tracy Bowes, president of the York College Alumni Association, to come forward to greet our most recent alumni.
Class of 2011, congratulations. On behalf of the Alumni Association, I would like to say welcome, my fellow alums. I am proud to greet you as our most recent alum. You now may join in pinning. You have a pin, please rise. Can you please rise? Guys, 2 more minutes, you get to go. Rise. I ask if you have your alumni pin that you please join in the pinning on your gown. I also ask, as you go forward out of these 4 walls of your college, that you remember where you got your start from. You remember to support and pledge to your alma mater. Thank your faculty, your friends, your students, and colleagues. I would like to invite everyone to join us in singing our alma mater. Please refer to the last page of the program. I know we have a and I shall turn it over to a recent graduate, 2011. I don't know your name.
Proudly we see York as the star of the city university. So here we stand to pledge by your name to bring our college glory, honor, and fame from all corners of the world, from our embrace diversity in our common quest for truth. We have formed a family, and though we may be far away, yet our hearts are ever near to the school we hold so dear. Hail your college, proudly we see York as the star of the city university. So here we stand to pledge by your name to bring our college glory, honor, and fame. Though the road was often rough, we worked hours late and long. When the going seemed too tough, we strove harder to be strong. And now we made it here at last. We can hold our heads up high. We can spread our wings and fly. Hail your college, proudly we see York as the star of the city university. So here we stand to pledge by your name to bring our college glory, honor, and fame. Woo! That was it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Calazar. To bring York College glory, honor, and fame. That is your task, class of 2011. Please be seated.